So, what is your take on Jerome Powell? Are you a fan or a detractor? Where do you come down on the
Well, I think
Fed?
the Fed is an odd concept that probably shouldn't exist, at least in the form that it currently exists. I think the people should be in control of their currency, not some quasi governmental, quasi private, weird sort of circumstance that the Fed really is. It was designed that way, I think, to prevent political activism, but you put a bunch of liberals who are usually New York elite in charge of our monetary system. And it's no surprise to see that they cut rates when inflation was high right before the Biden election because they wanted to help the Biden campaign. And now, even though inflation's basically dropped off, they don't want to cut it because they're hoping to hurt Trump and make him look bad by causing some economic trouble.
Well, I've espoused a slightly different belief. I have no reason to like or dislike Powell, but personally, I feel like that the it was the fiscal policy that really got us into trouble with inflation and the completely irrational spending that Biden engaged in. And so he basically handed the Fed a mix of spaghetti that they had to unravel. Interest rates has traditionally been the way to cure inflation. So I think they almost had to raise interest rates to avoid runaway inflation. And it seems to me that they have tamed it, and they have done so without forcing our economy into a recession. And unemployment in the last uh, report came down from 4.3 to 4.1%. Nobody saw that coming. It's the first drop we've had since February. And so, I mean, I kind of give them high grades. Am I missing something here?
No, I think you're right to give them high grades on the fact that they seem to have pulled off what they called a soft landing.
Yeah.
They were able to bring rates into a control territory and stop the inflation to the extent it was caused by rates at all. And certainly that was a contributing factor. So I think that's definitely a tool in their toolbox, and they've used it well for the time they needed to.